everybody in the neighborhood has how many realtors live in their neighborhood, right? They are my friends. They are not my competition. I'm talking to them about how they're doing first, so in turn they're going to ask how I'm doing. And any conversation that starts about your family is always going to lead into work-life balance. So I'm being authentic, and then we just naturally start talking about it. And let's talk. Everybody in the neighborhood has how many realtors live in their neighborhood, right? They are my friends. They are not my competition. Because if I need information from them, I'm going to call them, and we're going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about what we're doing differently, and we have different base of clients. Like most of them aren't doing real estate in their neighborhood. It's very unique that a realtor is still trying to stay hyper local, behind the, marquees of their neighborhood anymore. So business is done nationwide and business is done worldwide. And I think that's a big conversation that they have with me, because I'm still doing majority of my business in Southern California, and they're balancing out now after 2 years. But they're asking me how it's going there because they want to relate it to this market too. Mm-hmm. And they see me traveling back to California to be with my team and come back. So I have a lot of conversation pieces with them that are just where I'm at and what I'm doing. And it just naturally segues into that.
Yeah.
And they laugh. I'll meet them for lunch. They'll be like, oh my God, you always show up all ready to go. I'm like, this is who I am. Like, I get ready every day. I work out every day. I have an unstoppable morning routine, and I'm ready for anything. And the days that I don't and I work out clothes, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so cool to see you. Another conversation starter, right? So I'm just authentic to my brand and who I am.
Yeah, and you mentioned you say to them first, how are they doing and what they are doing. It's called a forward call. You're talking about family, occupation, relationships, and dreams. We've done it together. So that's super important. You want to be out there talking to people continually. There's a great platform that some of us are on right now that is called Rockstar Agent. And it is the task we need to be doing each and every day to get the conversation started. With your social media, what are you saying? Now, first of all, what platforms?
Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. I've had my YouTube channel for 11 years. I just really started leveraging my YouTube channel since I'm in multiple locations and I'm building an organization nationwide. And that's been growing nicely. We just started on TikTok. I've had the TikTok, but we're just started really...
What's your primary platform?
Instagram.
Okay, and what do you say on Instagram to get people to call you for a listing appointment?
I'm not saying, it's my brand on Instagram. So I manage a team, and I started a brand because I was an independent real estate broker. I had my own brokerage in Southern California before I moved here. So I hadn't been brokered by another broker since 2014. So my brand is what my Instagram is. My stories and my comments and my interaction on Instagram is how I get people to talk to me.
Okay.
So
are you replying to all the comments?
100%. A new follower, we're saying like, welcome to our community. Let me know if you have any questions. So I have a team.
So do you use a company for that, or do you use a team? Your team?
I have my team.
Okay.
I have my team. We have it set up. We have morning routines. It's you check the calendar, you check the MLS, you check any new followers, you respond to them in the morning. We have a certain thing we've set up, and our morning routine takes us sometimes an hour, sometimes maybe an hour. And that's how we start our day every day. We're engaged, we're tuned in, we're checking our Dropbox file, we're cleaning out our email boxes, we're responding to any and everybody then. And then we'll check in on it throughout the day. But I just think that consistency has been really helpful because it's authentic.
Mm-hmm.
I am not fake. I am not going to just generate things to generate things. I send every past client, I send everybody I know that's in my calendar. I'm a crazy calendar person. I send them a birthday message every day on their birthday, every year on their birthday. They get a video message from me, but then most likely it's going to ping me on my cell phone too. And I'm probably going to send them a text too. So every past client, every family member, every friend of mine knows like I'm always thinking about them. Every close of escrow anniversary, my clients get something. This year, I missed one, and she reached out to me. And he was like, hey, Rockstar Agent, it's my anniversary, and I just want to let you know I just remodeled the master bath. Here's a picture. So, and that's 9 years of staying in touch with them.
Yeah.
So
you just never know.
Yeah.
You never know where your business is going to come from. But as far as gaining listings in this new market, you're using your social media, primarily Instagram.
I'm helping some of my, here's another new one I didn't even think about to talk about today. I never used to share my home with people. I kept my personal life very private, and coming to a new community and realizing the importance of that to my family, I've been way more vulnerable in sharing like my house, my family, my gardening, like my design. I designed my own house. I had a lot of interior design touches on my house. I've started sharing that, and I've had to open my full up to a lot more people that are newer friends to me, right? So I host a lot of events, have people over. I have an open door policy at my house and my community. Anybody can come over at any time. They bring their kids. We're good. It's who I was in California, and it's who I wanted to be here. I just had to get to know everybody and realize they're just cool with my friends in PLA in California. I just haven't known them as long. I'm helping people in my neighborhood who are remodeling their house or wanting to do different sign things. I am helping them with that. And I will tell you right now, because I will talk about it in a year, maybe we'll circle back on this, it will be my foot in the door to help them with any other real estate needs they have. So I'm helping them pick wallpaper. I'm helping them pick flooring with their builders. They're not hiring an interior designer. I'm spending the time with them as a friend and helping them with their homes to build value in their home.
So we haven't had to do what Nicole's had to do, build community over the last 2 years. We just have had this community that we love on our paddle cheerleaders, right? Like we do leaders and say, you got to call her,
So that's where they come. So it's like for
SMI. Like my husband refers to people all the time.
Yeah.
He talks to people for a business all the time. And our commercial realtor refers to business. So you need your cheerleaders too, which is again, we need relationship building.
So that's where I would say they come from for us. Is I'm not necessarily chasing new business outside of our sphere. They typically come from either repeats or referrals from within our sphere. So staying in front of the people that, Nicole's a master at building this rapport that she's been doing for the last 2 years here. We love on our people hard and nurture those relationships so that we're always top of mind. And so lo and behold, we get 3 referrals this week that people text us and go, hey, we have family that's moving here from New Jersey. Would you be open to helping them? I'm like,
but on the statistical thing that you're talking about and knowing your market, what you're sharing in your Facebook group, let's talk about it. Some people have 10 realtors in the neighborhood, right? So I don't want to go on there and share my real estate stuff per se, but I'm friends with all those people. I'm not going to burn the bridges, because we all need to work together to move the market and understand what's happening in our community, and I want their insights too. Part of our morning routine is also to log into the MLS, and I log into 2. I log into my MLS in California, which is also Matrix like here in Austin, and I log in Austin and I look at all my safe searches I have set up for my prospects that I'm nurturing right now for the next quarter or 2 quarters, and I have all my safe searches for my prospects that are in my market in California, and then I have my market watch, right? That is also part of my morning routine, and it takes me 5 minutes because I look at it every single day. And what do I look at for my neighborhood in particular? I put a market update every month, but I'm looking to see if those 2 houses that are pending closed, because they won't tell me when they're going to close, and I'm looking what they close at, so I know what the average price per foot switches to in my neighborhood. Because I'm going to see people walking, and I'm going to talk to people, and things are going to come up, and everybody talks about movement in their market because it's either helping their property value or lowering their property value. So that morning routine of looking at the MLS for 5 minutes gives me really good talking points, and also gives me confidence to know that I know my market. And it's not even 5 minutes, because they're all little safe searches I just click through.
Yeah.
So you see the change instantly, and you just move on to your next task for the day. So I really feel like routines are key
There.
to marketing yourself and to staying top of mind and being a real estate advisor. And you guys hear it, every podcast, every real estate coach, every person that you follow and you're listening to most likely is telling you need to have a routine, but who's implementing a crazy, consistent morning routine? So right, it just makes you start your day better. Let's talk about it. Do you feel like going and selling real estate and trying to find new clients and implement your marketing efforts if you don't feel good every day? You really truly have to start with what is your best day. Sit and think about how you start your best day, and then take that mindset into your business every single day you're doing, and be doing business every single day. Even if you're not doing an open house on Saturday and Sunday, still get up and look at those stats. They could have changed on Friday night. And it's just part of sipping your coffee, sipping your tea, you know what I mean? Warming up to go to the gym, whatever you do. I think that really sets your mindset to have confidence in yourself and the knowledge that you're carrying into the day to share with other people.
You need to filter out who you do and do not want to work with, because you can spend a lot of money and a lot of time there's plenty of people out there that really need what we have to bring to the table. And if people are going to waste your time and your dollars, that is not where your business and your time needs to be spent. There are plenty of other people who need help.
And beating out the days on market and what is, exceeding them and pushing them even greater and greater. And it's the homes that are done in a little bit more, not turnkey, but clean, move-in ready. And so like setting that perception initially when you're doing your pre-listing consult and you're finding out what they owe and you're putting together your net sheet. So you're making sure they net what they want to net, and you're kind of looking at all your pricing strategy together before you draft a listing contract. You know what I mean? Just kind of having that, setting that perception with them too, because they don't want to go buy a house, crappy carpet, and move right into it and just want that buyer to, they don't want to accept that, so they probably need to do something on their end. So I kind of link where they're going with where they're at and what they need to sell. And I set that emotional connection too, without saying it. Yeah, I'm always like, I don't want to put you out of house and home because we're going to get your house ready together as a team. Where are you going to go? Yeah, because I don't want to be on the market for 147 days.
Yeah.
Like that's not benefiting you and it's not benefiting me.
Right.
Like, so then I kind of link the buy side or where they're going to with what we're doing. And I always bring them both together.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and Nicole brought up a really great point on a mastermind that we just recently had, and that is, I had never really thought about negotiating with the staging company. So Nicole said, most staging companies, it's like, you're going to pay for your first 30 days. Some will do your first 45 days at X, and then it's a renewal of X,
by day, week,
by day, week, month. So anyway, Nicole brought up, she goes, oh yeah, I'm negotiating with all my stagers. Drew, I think you said the same thing. Was it easy? Curbio.
So since I partnered with EXP and I transitioned my brokerage to EXP last year and we have our partnership with Curbio, I have gone with certain sellers. Like, let me talk about this listing that I decided not to take. They're original owners. It's in California. The listing was going to be about $2.3 million. They're like, yeah, some of the tile work with the shower pans and the showers. I need to redo those showers. I've had some quotes. It's about $8,000. So we just have a little bit of drywall damage. And I'm like, and mind you, I do all my listing presentations virtually, and we're on Zoom, and it works well because I can share data really well. So that's my other trick. And I go to Curbio, and the seller kind of does a little instant walkthrough because I like to get the Curbio ROI, like without Curbio and with Curbio, and how much their calculations say those repairs are going to be, right? So whole interior paint, redo the showers and the bathrooms. Here we go. This is what it'll net on a sale. If they do that, this is what we're pricing it at right now. And so I take that information in. So part of my pre-listing, pre-whatever, is I talk to someone about their house and what they have, and then I go to title and I pull up the title profile and I see that, and then I try and find the floor plan, and then I go to maybe when the house sold last, so I can walk through the house and see what the finishes were there, because this one was a new, they bought it from the builder, so they didn't have it. So I tried to find the same floor plan. So I'm doing research before I have to talk to them about the pricing. I got Curbio's comparison to take into my listing appointment with them. I chose not to go with them because they didn't want to make you guys, I'm talking like the dining room had drywall damage above it, from the bathroom above it, and they wanted to list it like that. And I was like, sorry, I can't do that. I just can't. It's a nightmare under the contract too. Like mold, all the stuff's gonna come up to the buyer. Like everything would have when we could have fixed it on the front end, right? It worked with licensed contractors through Curbio. So I used that to save myself basically, because I didn't have to come out of pocket. Curbio is like, give me an example, like Compass Concierge. They go in, they have a contract with the seller, they vet licensed contractors to come in and do the work that the seller either agrees or not agrees to do. So you go all in and say, these are all the things I think need to be done to the house so we can get top dollar for your house and sell it faster in today's market, because that's what they want. And then they'll kind of nitpick it out based on how much it's going to take away from what they're going to net. So we're always looking at the net sheet and we're looking at what the cost of the repairs are, and then they can choose what they want to do from it. But Curbio is great because you don't have to go out of pocket. It puts all the liability on the contractors that are being referred to them and going to their home through that company and through the contract they have with the seller, and then Curbio gets paid at closing out of the pricing.
Yeah. So talk to them and ask them to compare other brokerages, or just little, other brokerages opportunities like Compass Concierge, and see how Curbio might be better fit for this upcoming listing appointment. That way you are educated and loaded, locked and loaded, because you know who you're going up against. That's another thing. Find out who you're going up against in that listing appointment before you get there.
That is something that I want all of you to take away from this, because having those authentic conversations with prospective sellers and asking if they are talking to other realtors and if they've already talked to them
And who?
and where you line up in the lineup, that is something that I was always afraid to ask. They love telling you what they're doing because the ball's in their court, right? Like they're the powerhouse. So I'm like, oh, how many other brokers have you talked to? Okay, great. Is there any brokerages that I'd be familiar with? Like just simple questions. They love talking about what they're doing. Doesn't mean they're going to tell you what that other broker said, but you can immediately go, okay, that's what I'm dealing with. And they're going to go stalk them. Like you guys are your researchers here. You're like, who's that other agent? What does their marketing look like? What are they doing on other listings? You know, and then you know what you're going up against.
Yeah.
It's a very easy conversation to have, and I think you all should have that with a prospective seller. Are you talking to other agents? What did they say? Have you talked to the neighborhood area specialist? You know, like all those things that just gives you a gauge of where they're at and the information that they're getting. If you're reverse prospecting and if you're doing professional photography and if you have an e-flyer or a video walkthrough or something like that, because that's gotten a lot more common. I mean, we're doing it. I'm also texting the agent. They might not be opening their email or at their computer that day, and it might be important that they get to their client before the weekend so they don't miss the open house. So we have like a multiple step process to make each agent feel like I'm reaching out to them directly. And like, you can even subscribe to my YouTube channel because I've taken what other agents are doing around the nation that's working for them, and I started implementing it because I'm in 2 markets and I have to keep innovating. I love building knowledge and trying new things and doing stuff for marketing for my clients, but we are getting a lot of reach with our short videos, and they go on Instagram too, but I think it's really helping people want to see it firsthand from a professional.
Yeah.
So really knowing, I'm relating this back to the very beginning, really knowing who you are and what you want your brand or your professional representation to be and putting it on video. It's authentic, it should be easy. Videos been made so much easier than ever before, so I think it's what people connect to.
Nicole, what is your brand on YouTube and Instagram?
NMC Realty Group.
Okay.
And NMC Realty. And Nancy Mary Charlie Realty. And NMC Realty.